Happy Wednesday! I'm so excited to be here with you guys live again today. And so just so you know, we do go live on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, US time. Um, on YouTube, on our Facebook page, and in our Facebook group. So, if any of you guys are joining me today on YouTube or through our Facebook page and want to find out more about the sewing group that I am mentioning, you can go to sewwhatbox.com/group. And then what this will do is it's just an easy link for you to know that will redirect you to the website on Facebook where you can join the Facebook group. And we post tips and tricks and funny memes and stuff in there. So it'd be great to see you in there. Okay, so as I'm going live today, Easter is only a couple weeks away. And because of that, our weekly poll question has to do with Easter. So I'm curious, are you doing any sewing or other craft type projects that are Easter themed? If so, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious to see inspiration from you on this. And feel free, if you're on Facebook watching, to post a picture in those comments as well. I'm super curious. One thing that I love to make this time of year is this type of drawstring backpack. So it's super fun, super easy to wear and use, and a bunch of kids in my family love these. I get them new ones each year with different kinds of tails or prints. And they're really fun and easy to use and easy to make. I actually use these a lot of times this time of year when I'm teaching kiddos how to sew because they really like making this project and they really love using it. And then that's how you hook them into wanting to learn how to sew some more. So actually, if you guys want to get a pre-cut kit to make these, we've got a handful available in our Easter basket collection. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. A pre-cut kit to make one of these bags, another pre-cut kit for a project that kiddos love, this travel pillow, and all the notions and thread and everything come in these pre-cut kits. And they also come with downloadable patterns, so you can make more of these if you want. And then in our Easter basket, we've also got some other tools and goodies in there, like these spring-loaded snips. I love these. I personally have like 5, and I have them next to all my sewing machines to easily just nip off all those thread tails. And then also another cool thing that we have in the Easter collection is this kind of a sewing pen. It's a gel pen with a sewing machine on the lid. So these work great if you're looking for a cool, different thing to put in like an Easter basket or something for a kiddo. And you can go to sewwhatbox.com/Easter if you want to see all the stuff that's in the collection. Let me see if I have yep, I've got a photo that I can actually put up on the screen right now. So here's kind of a photo on all the things that are in the collection. As you can see, it's super cool and definitely a great gift for an Easter basket. We recommend for kids ages 8 plus. So if you're curious, you can head to sewwhatbox.com/Easter and get yours before we run out. There's only a handful left. So you're going to want to go check it out. Okay, so let's get into our tutorial for today. Over the last couple weeks, well, actually just this week even, I've had a couple people get a hold of me and ask for help learning how to thread their sewing machine. They've said they have a certain model of sewing machine and they've tried to look up that model on YouTube to get a video on how to thread their exact sewing machine. So I wanted to come in here today and give a quick tutorial on how you can thread any sewing machine without seeing a specific how to thread tutorial video on that machine. There's a couple tips and rules that you'll need to know, but they're super easy to remember, and once you get it down, you will be able to thread any home sewing machine that you come across. So let me get my camera switched. Oh, and before I switch my camera, I'm going to show you something just because you're going to see it in the background. Over here in my window, I started my garden too early, so I've got a bunch of cucumber plants actually in the window, which is really strange. I didn't think that cucumbers would actually grow inside, but I've got a bunch of cucumbers over there on the vines that are like as big as my hand right now. So, just in case you guys are wondering, that's what that is. And in case any of you guys are also gardeners, now you know you can grow cucumbers inside. Okay, let me get my camera changed here and then we'll go into the tips and tutorial. Okay, so I have a couple sewing machines here, but we're going to start with this Brother one because it's pretty standard for more of the modern machines, especially beginner sewing machines. And so I'm going to show you really quick on this one, and then I'm going to move to the next machine and just show you how it's similar, and that you can, once you know how to thread a machine and you pay attention, you'll be able to thread any sewing machine. So, all sewing machines have two major parts on the top thread that you're going to need to be aware of in order to instantly be able to know how to thread a sewing machine, no matter what kind of a machine it is. The first one is your tension discs. Now, I'm sure that you've heard the term tension. What a tension disc is basically like symbols that the thread goes through in order to hold it tight when it makes stitches. Because if the thread's not held tight while it's trying to make a stitch, it won't be pulled tight and it won't make a stitch, right? So the tension discs are circular, and they, like, the thread has to go through the tension disc before it moves on to the next step. So the tension disc is first. You'll normally see it as a circle knob, which is the knob where you would change your tension. But also it's wherever the bottom of the lines are. So a sewing machine always will have two of these cracks for threading on the top, and the bottom of the crack here, like the U shape, is always where the tension discs are. So you're going to need to go through the U shape, and then you'll go to the second part, which is this arm that goes up and down. Let's see, you can kind of see it here in the video. It peeks its head up right here. Now, if you don't know where yours is on your machine, you can always turn this knob on this side that makes your needle go up and down, and you can watch for this puller to go up and down. Now, this arm is what pulls the thread out from the bobbin thread and actually pulls and makes the stitch, okay? So first you need to go through the U shape or the tension discs. Second step is the puller arm. So when I'm threading this machine, I know I go down, around this, and up and around that puller arm. And then we'll go back down to the needle. Pretty simple. Some machines have these switched, where the first one you go down is this side, and the next one is this puller arm. And so you just always want to remember that you go first down around the U shape, second through the puller arm. Okay, let's switch over to my other machine that I have really quick, just so you can kind of see how that also works. Let me see. Yep, you can see this here. So here, this looks a lot different, right? But there's still these two cracks here, correct? 1, 2. So Let me see if I can get this to show the top. Sorry about that. So here we go. First step, we're going to go down this U and around the bottom, right? The second step, we're going to go into that pulling arm. So we need to do this to see where the pulling arm is. Here you can see this pulling arm is on the other side of the U than this one. But that doesn't matter because now that we know our 1-2 steps of first going around the U and then going through the pulling arm, we'll know which side to go down first. So we're going to go down the left side of this U first, around this bottom, and then through that puller arm, and then down to your thread on your needle. So once you know the those 2 rules of a basic home sewing machine, it doesn't matter what sewing machine you're looking at or if you have to help a friend thread their sewing machine, you'll be able to know how to instantly thread a sewing machine. The other thing to remember is that it's always best to thread your top thread when your presser foot is up. That makes those tension discs that I mentioned earlier open so that when you thread your machine, the thread can go in between those discs. Once your presser foot is down, they get pressed together. And if you try to thread, it won't necessarily go through those discs, and so the thread won't go where it's supposed to go. So first go under the U, second always come up and go through the lifter arm, and then go to your needle, but also remember to have your presser foot up. Okay, so that covers pretty much the top thread. Now for the bottom thread, your bobbin, there are 2 options that a sewing machine will have. They will either be a top load sewing machine where you drop the bobbin in from the top, or the older versions or the more workhorse versions have a front load. So I'm going to show you really quick how those go so that you will be able to thread really any sewing machine. So this one, you can see that you cannot see the bobbin from the top, so that means that it's a front load. We're going to have to move this little storage case in order to get to our front load, and there's a little door right here. Now you can see in here there is a bobbin case. Now these have a little tab that you can pull, and that's like the little handle that you can pull these out with. So to know if your handle is pulled up, see I'm holding on to this little bobbin handle, this bobbin can't fall out. But if I don't hold that up and I hold this like this, it just falls right out. So once you have it threaded, always have this little bobbin clasp thing up in your fingers. Okay, so this bobbin, as you look at it, you've got this little tiny hole and this crack on this side. So basically what you're going to do is put the little bobbin into here and then run the thread through this crack under this little plate and out the hole. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. We're just going to put this in here, grab this thread, rotate around until I'm coming out this crack here, see? And then it just pulls out the hole. So now you can see it's coming out that hole. And then I'm going to grab onto this thing so it doesn't fall out. And then I'm going to put this in the bobbin case down here. Now what you're going to want to do is this open part here, you want facing up. And you're always going to want to do this with your needle in the all the way up position and your lifter bar up top here in the all the way up position. So then you're just going to gently put this in here and it should kind of click in place. Once that's done, all you do is you hold onto your top thread, move the needle down and up, and that top thread will catch this and pull it up, and then all threads will be coming out of this plate here. So that was a really quick tips version on the front load bobbin case. Let's go back to that first machine that I was talking about, and I'll show you really quick how to do a top load bobbin. It's a lot easier, but there's one step that you have to remember or it'll be disastrous. All right, let's see. Yep, you can see this. Let me pull this camera off of here really quick. So here you can see that there is a little clear case, and you can see a bobbin in here from the top. Remember over here on this one, there wasn't anything in the top, so that's how we knew it was a front load bobbin. This one has one from the top. So what you're going to do is just slide this little thing off, and then you can take this bobbin out. So basically on this, what you're going to do is you're just going to drop the bobbin in there and then follow this little diagram. So do you see this tiny little hook right there? It looks like a little hook. Let me see if I can get a better pointer. Right there is a little hook. Now, the important thing on these top load bobbins is that you always make sure your thread goes through that hook. If your thread doesn't go through that hook, then you're going to have some issues. So the easiest way to do that is make sure that your thread is coming off the way that this picture shows. So see, this is backwards. I need the thread to be coming off this way. So now the bobbin spins in this direction when I pull. Now I'm going to come all the way over here with this thread and pull back towards the front of the machine and just slide it around. And did you see that? It just got hooked in that little hook. Perfect. Now you're just going to, like normal, hold on to this and move your needle down, and it will pull up that thread. So I'm going to hold on to the top thread here, push my needle down, and pull it back up. And then here we've got this little loop that came from the bottom thread, and I can just pull that, and now I've got both threads up top. And then I can put this in place. So now that you know those options, you should be able to thread any sewing machine that you come across. Definitely any home sewing machine that is just a standard home sewing machine. Okay, guys. Well, did that help? Do you have more questions, or were there some like aha moments? If you have more questions, I am here for you, and I would love to help answer your questions and get it so that you can sew with your sewing machine. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and comment below, and I will get to those even if you're watching the replay, and I'll let you know. If you have a specific question or a specific part of your sewing machine that you're not sure how to use when threading, go ahead and post a picture of that in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. The pictures would help if there's something very specific that you're wondering about. But overall, these tips should really help you when threading any sewing machine. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will talk to you next week. Oh, one more time, if you jumped in halfway through the live video, go ahead and answer my poll for the week in the comments below. Are you doing any craft or sewing projects for Easter? I'm super curious. Again, if you want to share a picture of that craft with us, go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm super curious. All right, guys, I will see you guys next week.